Good afternoon, good evening. I am Tom Shaw, the host of The Most. I am joined by OBH and Ollie Hope. Good evening, gentlemen. How are we?
Good evening.
Good evening. Now I'm over my migraine and I can actually focus and not feel sick. It's great. I
Always
promise
good not to feel sick.
I wasn't celebrating too hard about the Patriots making the playoffs.
Happy New Year to all of our viewers.
Yes, it's our first podcast of 2022.
Yeah, we've got
Happy New Year,
another
guys.
52. Well,
Probably more.
No, probably near 80.
Yeah.
But what are we at? We are at the penultimate weekend of the year, the regular season anyway.
Yeah, definitely not
I've
the
only
year.
got one game left that I am invested in.
Are you really going to be invested in it, really? Come on, Tom.
Yeah, he's invested in the fact that he wants the Vikings to lose.
Savage.
We are getting closer to the 13th of February. The
Super
greatest
52.
show on earth.
No, it's not 52. It's like 56 or
57.
I think it's 57. Yeah.
Yeah.
As always, if you are wanting to get involved, follow us on Twitter and on Facebook and on YouTube. All the socials are down below. Ollie Hope.
And drop a comment.
Yeah, get involved in the comments and we will get them up on here and we will answer them to the best of our ability. It has been a weekend of high drama.
In some games.
The first 3 hours is probably the best 3 hours of football that I could have. I mean, it starts off with it was just insane. You know, New York almost beating Tampa. But obviously talk about them properly more. You know, then you had Cincy and Kansas going literally toe to toe. That was probably the best game of the year.
We had Washington and Philly.
I like it. Everyone goes silent to that one.
Yes,
hey, the ending. I mean, that interception in the end zone.
Seriously, Washington, you couldn't throw the Niners a bone.
So, shall we get right into it?
Let's start.
What games or the 1 a.m. games?
1:30. The early kickoffs.
Yeah, let's start.
There's no Thursday night football, so that finished this week.
I know, yeah. It was a bit of a weird one. But
let's start with the 1 p.m. Eastern time games.
Yes. So we start off in Baltimore. Well, LA Rams.
No, it was in Baltimore.
Yeah, it was in Baltimore, wasn't it? 19-20. LA Rams winning that game.
Odell Beckham with the game-winning touchdown. Who would have thought?
Yeah, and the clutch catch before that on the 4th and 5.
There were some 2 billion catches, and at that point, he actually put his old team into the playoffs. At that moment in time, scoring that touchdown, he put the Cleveland Browns into the playoffs. Obviously, they can't get in there now, but
then things changed.
It wasn't a bad game. I mean, obviously, I was more invested in the Patriots game. It wasn't a bad game. Every time I looked on to Red Zone,
I was cheering on the Rams.
Standard.
Because I wanted the Rams to have nothing to play for next week. Unfortunately, the Cardinals won, so that's not going to happen. But
yeah, I mean, this is the first time Matt Stafford's had a 12-win season in his career. In his, how many years has he been doing? In his 10 years now, has he been playing something like that?
Yeah,
he's been a while, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been around a while.
But for someone who's that talent, either shows how bad Detroit was, or it just shows how bad Detroit was. I mean, this season shows everything. That
all the
Matt Stafford gave them a few extra games, but it said something though, isn't it? Stafford was never the issue in Lions. It was always everyone else, and he looked.
Stafford wasn't the problem.
Yeah,
Stafford is not the problem.
Stafford, and Cooper Kupp takes the lead. Is now the leader, or one season lead rush or lead receptions for the LA Rams. He overtook.
Cooper.
Try saying that when you're drunk.
Cooper Kupp must be MVP.
He's got to be. He's leading majority of the receptions yards, most receptions this season, most yards after catch this year. Yeah, he won't.
But will he get it?
No, he won't be. You know, it's going to go to Patrick.
No, because he can't throw the ball to himself, unfortunately.
But he's now overtaken Bruce from the 1995 with 1,829 yards. I think he's less than 200 yards. Well, less than 100 yards, 150 yards, something like that, away from the all-time rush record or receiving record now by Megatron himself, Calvin Johnson. So that's a lot. It was always going to be a shootout or some kind of shootout with those two, isn't it? It was a great game.
Yeah, it was a good game. To be fair, it was a fun game to watch. I watched it on MedZone. I've watched the highlights today. Yeah, it was one of those games where you just knew was going to be back and forth, and it was
Yeah.
You would have thought defense would have been a little bit like Scrooging on that one because they are two good defenses in that team at the moment. They go after the ball. They've got ball hunters. They've got two very good D lines, and it was always going to be the case there. Always going to be the case.
Moving on to the next game, we go over to Snowy Buffalo.
I was cheering my little heart off when I saw Atlanta took the lead. I won't lie. We all love a snow game. It was Atlanta gave Buffalo more of a run than they were expecting.
Yeah, they were losing at halftime.
Yeah, they were. No, it still hasn't changed over. I'm still on the other game at the moment. Yeah, they were 15-14 up at half time, and so Matt Ryan ran it in the fourth quarter.
No, he didn't. He didn't though, did he?
And then he got shown down. He got down by a yard, and then he got done 15 yards for taunting.
Yeah, that was funny.
Matt Ryan, Matty Ice, gets done for taunting. Who would have thought that, hey?
They need to do something about taunting. It's a ridiculous penalty, and hopefully they will see the error of the ways.
They won't.
I know.
It's got to be slightly adjusted in there somewhere, isn't it? I mean, there's got to be some common sense about it.
Yeah,
it was a massive play for Atlanta. It put them within a score of the game, winning the game. You've got to play in emotions into it and go, yeah, okay, fair enough. Emotions, yeah, we'll let him off on that one. Right.
It's a bit like the yellow card for taking your shirt off rule in football.
Yeah. It's like you see in other sports. I mean, me as a match official, if you see a lad or woman or a player going up to another player, getting in the face, like after a big try try in my case that I officiate, you just pull that lad aside and say, come on, let's have some class.
Yeah, just calm down.
Next time you do it, I'll deal with it. Until then, just speak to him about use the common sense. Use that
human
factor. Paid a lot of money.
Use your human factor about it.
Yeah.
It's like when the O-line, when the quarterback, I'm going to use Mac Jones last week when he got hit late. David Andrews, the centre, stood straight up and said, got to protect his quarterback, which a low line's meant to be doing. And he got flagged for that. That is a lot less, a lot less of a penalty than it is someone could put someone concussion and end up 2 years. I mean, we saw how concussions affected AB, which we'll talk about in a bit. So, it's got to be an offset. There's got to be that human thing. Okay, no alignment.
The one that gets me is DK Metcalf hugging the post. What is wrong with that?
It's funny. Wasn't it Crucial Catch Week month as well, wasn't it? It's their cancer thing. One thing is about Atlanta, it looks like Pitt's done his hamstring.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked bad at the time.
Luckily, they're not in the playoffs anyway, and they're not going to make the playoffs, so they're not going to miss him into that one. That's not a dig at Atlanta. I promise you that one. But he has surpassed Julio Jones.
We're all Atlanta fans next week, aren't we?
Who has Atlanta got next week?
Saints.
I ain't fussed about them. Wrong division for me to worry about.
Cheers for the sports, Ollie.
But yeah, Julio Pitts has surpassed Julio Jones' rookie record for receiving yards for Atlanta.
Julio Pitts has surpassed Julio Jones, has he?
Yes.
God, this Julio gets around.
Julio's a common name, obviously. Yeah. Pitts. And the I can't pronounce his linebacker's name. Has now got 10 tackles for the 11th time this season.
Who Ollie?
Olanuku? Is that how you pronounce it? Olanuku? Something like that. So it's the first time in 11 seasons that an Atlanta player has done that as well. And he's now, in the top 5 for most tackles for a year this year? Obviously, it shows it because Atlanta needs to do a lot of defending. Yes. On to Chicago?
Yeah.
Chicago, yes.
Enter Shikari.
I'm hoping that they get a nice little W next week as well.
This game was so irrelevant to anything.
Yeah.
Apart from the fans who fell off the stand. Trying to
that was the
fist
Eagles
bump or
game.
get a clap. Oh, no, it was the Eagles game.
That was the Washington game, that.
Yeah. There's not a lot to talk about this one. They said something, they didn't really show a lot of it on Red Zone.
Yeah. It's just like Chicago scored another touchdown, by the way.
Although it was say Chicago's first 6 plays was all defense and they went 14-0 up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chicago's defense said something. I started them on the bench. Standard. In my fantasy team.
Interesting that both New York teams currently have 2 top 10 draft picks each.
It does. But it also shows that Mike Glennon isn't a quarterback for this league. And I don't even think he's a backup quarterback.
I think we knew that anyway.
But it's just put his final nail in his coffin now. Against, yes, the Chicago's aren't not a bad defense, but
there's reason they're not 12-2 or whatever.
Yeah, no, it says a lot. Or even 10-6. What are they? 8-4?
6 and 12. No, they'll be 7-11 now.
Yeah. So that says a lot about that defense, isn't it? It's all the offense. Although it is first time this season that Barkley's gone over 100 yards. So that's a promising sign for Chicago. Oh no, New York. But yeah, it's. I think it's possibly the end of Glennon. Are they going to draft a quarterback? Because Danny Dimes hasn't looked good this season at times.
No, but I think. They have got the number 4 pick. No, number 5 pick and the number 7 pick currently.
Maybe with number 7, but I don't see them drafting a quarterback with number 5.
No, number 7. I think they could do.
I think I'm going to put you two on the spot. I reckon second week after the Super Bowl, we do early mock drafts. I reckon we do that. Nice early one.
We'd all done a mock draft last year, and then we never got to do it because we couldn't decide on the time.
We'll do it properly this time. We'll do a couple of mock drafts. One at the end after the Super Bowl and one pre-draft. Once over all the drafts.
That means that we are proper pundits then.
Oh, God help us.
Oh.
God help.
We'll be being discussed all over the world.
So, New York Giants are now 6-48 when trailing at halftime since 2017. They've won 6 games when they're losing at halftime.
Yeah, that's not great, is it?
There's a culture that has to be changed there, isn't it? You know.
Let's make Joe Judge run laps.
Oh God, yeah. What was that, pre-season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it this year or was it last year?
I think it was last year.
And there's a massive argument, wasn't it? He goes, right, everyone, go do laps. Go and do a sprint and whatever. Yeah, that's... Yes, definitely.
Let's make Joe Judge and Dave Gettleman run laps.
Even
Game of the week. Game of the week.
Here's my question about this game. Has Jamar Chase done enough to get himself back in the Rookie of the Year conversation?
226 yards. What was it? Something like that, wasn't it?
It was 260 odd, wasn't it?
Well, it's the most yards by a rookie, reception yards by a rookie in a single game, and the most yards ever in a reception yards by a Bengal in a game.
That guy is a special talent.
Yep.
You can see why LSU was so successful when they had Jefferson, Burrows, and Chase.
But yeah, so Burrows Chase, the duo, is the most ever by a QB and a wide receiver duo playing at the same college. Played at the same college together. I love stats like that. That's some 266 yards. You know, Chase and Burrows are now in the top 4 and 5 for reception and yardages per game. They are.
Was it Burrows who said basically just like, I just throw it and I know Chase is going to get it?
Definitely, yeah, it was. So my son he's obviously a Chiefs fan, was getting excited to start to this, especially when they were like 27, 26, something up at half time. And then, or 28, 17, 24, 17, something like that.
What was the reaction when we started talking about it before OBH? Bye.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to, no, because they when he went to bed, Cincinnati had just scored their touchdown to equal the game, to tie the game.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about Cincinnati's last 2 minutes. And specifically Toby Romo going for possibly the last 2 minutes, kick the ball, kick the field goal, kick the field goal. You've possibly injured your QB1, who could possibly miss a big game for you, could decide where you are in the playoff race, whether you've got a home tie for the wild card or you're away, which is going to be big. I understand why they did it. They want to put it so instead of Kansas just needing a field goal to tie the game, take it overtime, they're going to need a touchdown. And with Mahomes, with Kelsey, with Hill, with Clyde Edwards, anything can happen in that offense. But to take a risk as they did to do that, and not even all the time, it was like, right, quarterback sneak, and then once they passed it off and they got a, I think it was a PI, I think it was a DPI. It just didn't quite make sense to me.
I'm going to be honest. The Niners game kicked off at 9:05, so I missed this.
Yeah. I completely agree. Everyone over here completely agrees that Romo is probably the best pundit in.
Yeah.
I've not seen enough of Breeze or Eli Manning to go through their play calling yet or how they do it.
Breeze doesn't do calling. He works on Football Night in America.
Does he not do any games? I thought he did game calling as well.
I've only seen him on Football Night in America.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I know Mannings do their own little thing, don't they? So
yeah, but they don't talk about the game in that much.
I have seen them go, right, he's going to do this, and it does happen. Yeah. I have seen him do that. But yeah, I completely agree with Muzz.
I would like to say about Muzz, he spends most of his time winding up Green Bay fans, so he is one of my favourite people in the world.
Fair enough comment.
Go Pack, go Tom.
I mean, we might ask him about his opinions on Rodgers at some point in the future, and I will love to see the Packers fans piling onto here to defend their boy. And so Moving on.
Not only that, but that win put Cincinnati for the first time in God knows how long winning the NFC North.
Muzz saying we don't have a long enough show.
I'll tell you what, Muzz. When Packers reach Super Bowl this year, come on our Super Bowl pre-show. That'll be interesting.
His best mate is a Packers fan, so that's a lovely relationship there. Moving on.
Indy? Is it Indy Las Vegas?
That was I actually enjoyed watching the highlights of this game.
This was another great close game.
That reversed call in the last few minutes, I think it would have John. I am gutted that we've not got John watching. If he is talking, make yourself known. What did you think of that call?
I haven't seen this yet, so I don't know what you're talking about.
When I saw it first, I thought that it was down by contact.
So did I.
Okay.
Everyone else said. I mean, the pundits were saying it was close. For me, I felt it was not close. I thought that.
Well, watching it real time, I thought it was down by contact. But then watching it on replay, I realized it was closer than I thought. But I still think down by contact was the right call.
Yeah. I think it was right that it was reversed. I felt sorry for him because it would have been a great play.
It was. It still was a great play. It was a great catch.
But it was a good catch. It was a good run. But I do think that it was the right decision to reverse the call. And it didn't really affect the game as Raiders went up and scored the field goal.
Does anyone else think it'd be hilarious if the Colts now don't make the playoffs?
Colts are in the playoffs.
Are they?
I'm sure they're in the playoffs now.
I thought with that loss that didn't confirm it.
I'm having a look now. Colts are in the playoffs, yeah.
Oh, okay.
If they get through, they will be at the Bengals.
Oh yeah.
I think that'd be a good match.
Yeah, I think with that offense that Bengals have got and that defense isn't too bad. They still need to improve that D line. I think they need to improve the O line in Cincinnati. But yeah, they are scary offense.
They haven't clinched. They will clinch next week, hopefully. Well,
yeah, I mean, if the Colts miss out on the playoffs next week,
that would be hilarious. I would mind it. I would mind that. I mean, Oakland have now kept themselves alive, haven't they?
Las Vegas, Ollie.
I keep doing that. I'm living in the past.
But I mean, that's classic Man U and Patriots fan, isn't it?
Oh, shush. Don't even talk to me about United.
This is a Steelers fan. They will play tonight.
Well, you don't want me to mention Jean Moutinho.
I'm now leaving. Bye. I'm going to do an AB and walk out halfway through the game.
You need to take your shirt off first.
No one wants to see that one. Trust me on that one.
Ollie's not at the wheel, but yet United still keep on losing.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on another day. But Jonathan Taylor's now surpassed Hall of Famer James's rushing record for the most rushing yards in a season, Colts history. I always think that the records that get broken in week 17 are better than the records that are going to get broken next week. Cooper Kupp's possibly going to break the most records in a year, most receptions, most yards after catch, etc., etc. Joe Mixon could break a record next week. Jonathan Taylor could break 2,000 yards next week. These records are going to have an asterisk next to the name because they've got one more game. So it takes the kind of gloss off it. So the records that get broken in the week 17 is more something than anything else, I think. And on that note,
should we just sit back and let Ollie take this one?
Yeah, I was going to say, over to you, Mr. OBH.
Oh, it's so nice to get back at winning ways.
It's been a tough few years for you, hasn't it?
Oh, I've not liked the last couple of years, I must admit. But it was a Jacksonville with a depleted O-line, 3 of their 5 starters out. Trevor Lawrence had his first touchdown pass since Thanksgiving weekend. I don't know why they can call it like a literally pitch to the right a pass, but it was.
Rugby pass.
It was literally a pitch to the right. It's like, that's not really a pass, but given that one, I mean, what did he go? Is it 1,070 odd passes? Where is it? Let me just find it because I screenshot it of the. There it is. He went 175 passes without a touchdown. The record prior to that was his, which was 121 passes.
So he broke his own record.
Yeah,
he broke
his own record.
His own unwanted record.
That shows there's something very wrong in that Jacksonville team. I mean, J.C. Jackson had another pick. That guy's got to be paid. He's now the 25 picks in the first 4 seasons. Has him tied most in the NFL.
So if he gets a pick next week, will he get that record on his own then?
Yes, and it will have a nice little asterisk next to it as well. Yeah, I really feel sorry for Trevor Lawrence. If he would have put in somewhere, say, let's think of a team that could be fairly better than Denver, maybe, with a few more weapons there, or if he slipped down the draft order a bit and had a better chance or better coaching, I think he would have done better. But the fact that Jacksonville have been such a mess this season, to be fair, anything that could go wrong. Yeah.
To be fair, he got put in a team that had more holes than just a quarterback.
He had more holes than a bloody colander. It's crying out loud. That kid had no chance. Even with his winning mentality they had from college, he wasn't going to fix that team. They always say Mac Jones is the most quarterback-ready quarterback in the league. But Mac Jones fell into the right situation. Who do I think?
Muzz, I think we'll be discussing that on Thursday.
Yeah, well, should we go for it very quickly? Just have a quick
I'd
one.
say my MVP, I'm going to go for Cup.
Second.
He's had a great year. He's had a great season. He's built on it. He's broken records.
Offensive, JT?
I'd say you can't look past him, can you? Since Derrick Henry went injured.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
He's just, dominating. He's a big reason.
I love that. Sweet fourth.
We might disagree on DPOY.
That's where Arsenal finish, isn't it?
I think we might disagree on DPOY here.
Because we could be here all day. So we'll talk about DPY on Thursday. Shall we? We've got a bit more time.
I think you guys can probably guess who I think.
And
Shall I wear my zebras outfit again?
Yes, I've got 3 that I could go for.
Does one of them wear 97 and wear red and gold?
No.
Then you're
wrong. One of them wears brown. One of them wears blue.
J.C. Jackson, because you love him.
I wouldn't say I love him.
Another
one wears blue, and another one wears white with the star on his hand.
I was going to say I agree with you, OBH, on the one that wears white with a star on. If we are thinking the same, I'm thinking of a rookie.
Yep. Who's
just absolutely been ridiculous this year.
Nick Bosa is the only correct answer here. 15.5 sacks, third in the league, 19 tackle for losses, NFL leading.
Shall we go to nearly the almost the upset of the week of the season? Shall we say?
Yes, I mean this is going to be a big talking point.
Yeah, very big talking point. That's right. That's enough of that. What's that in English, Muzz?
Shall we start with the actual game or shall we start with the controversy?
I think we need to start with the Antonio Brown drama.
Do you want to show that video?
Show the clip?
Yeah, let's show the clip because
Run VT.
Show the diva at his best.
So Muzz obviously thinks TJ Watt is the only correct answer. I think Nick Bosa is the only correct answer.
Someone's going to be very unhappy come 12th of February, isn't it? It's the night before the Super Bowl, isn't it? They show it, don't they?
I'm going to roll the VT.
He says. As you can see, he is trying to get consoled by, looks like Mike Evans. They're going, sit down. Calm down. Where is it? So, yeah. Takes his shirt, takes his pads off. His kicker just looks at him going, as in like strange look. I love the guy down here who's giving him the V's. There's a guy down here literally flicking the bird at him.
This next mix makes me laugh. How he goes off, like hyping up the fans.
Yeah. But what Bruce Arians has said, that he told him to get back into the game several times. Come on, get back in the game. Back up in the game. You know. But that action has cost him probably just under $1 million. He was 8 catches away from $333,000.
From 55 yards away.
5 yards away from receiving yards. And just needed one touchdown.
Which would have got him to... I've looked at this. It would have been 50 catches, 600 yards, and I believe 5 touchdowns.
Something like that. Not bad for half a season's work, is it? To get paid for £1 million.
So, I think this links into what we were saying pre-season. I think me and Ollie took the lead on it. Me and OBH took the lead on it when it came to mental health in the the NFL.
Yeah, you guys did take the lead on
how although they are doing an okay job, they're not doing a great job. I think it was Neil Reynolds from another podcast and put on the UK.
Oh, you're talking about another podcast.
Well. He put that he felt that he's been showing clear signs of CTE for a couple of years now. Now, a few of you know that I agree. Muzz.
Yep.
I watch a lot of hockey. A lot of you know that's an American sport I follow. And one of my
all over the world, don't they?
One of my favorite enforcers suffered with CTE. And he ended up committing suicide from it. I mean, you guys have shown me the hit.
We won't show the hit.
The birth
when he was in Pittsburgh.
I won't show the hit. You've all seen it. You can all see it on YouTube.
Things all around social today. I think I've seen it quite a few times on social today, and it's
the Vontaze perfect hits.
Surely this is where the NFL have to step up. And
I don't know how they can control that kind of hits anymore with and that kind of thing.
No. I mean,
because you're taking a massive away from the sport, unless you put almost like they do with motorsport, have some kind of hands device or have neck braces on in them to stop the head.
I don't think it's a case of maybe protecting players, but I think it's a case of looking after players who suffer with that effect.
Because I mean, Vontaze Perfect did get suspended for that hit.
Yeah, and that's fair enough. But it's left. Obviously, we've seen the lasting effects on a person's life, career. Like you said, he's missed out on a hell of a lot of money now. That's obviously it's not about the money,
that's
is it?
That's obviously nothing to him.
It's not about the cash. It's not about how much money it is. But this guy's got kids. He's got a family. They've got to watch their loved one doing that sort of stuff.
Imagine showing that off to you, doing that to your kids, being like that in front of your kids, and going home to try and explain to your kids.
Yeah.
Why you did that? I mean, we've all gone back. I went to therapy. I'm not scared to say I went to therapy. One of the reasons is because I want to be a better role model for my kids, and I've gone through enough crap in my life for the last 18 months or so, and I've gone there to go right. One of the things is the one that said I was asked at the start, why do you want to come? Why do you want to go to therapy? And is I want to be a better role model for my kids. Yet AB Brown AB Antonio Brown has been doing this kind of thing in front of millions, and not only that, but it's millions of people who are impressionable, not just kids but adults as well. And why and it's you're a sportsman, you've got to use your fame and your everything like that.
CTE takes that away from you.
I get that, but this is when the NFL
shrinks the brain, and that's where the NFL need to step in and say.
But it's not just NFL; it's NFL, NHL.
It's all
National Basketball League. Sports. America rugby as well, rugby league and union both need to do it. Who need to control these? To take better care. But we're getting off the tangent because I want to talk about Tom Brady's 97-yard drive in 57 seconds for the game-winning touchdown. Yeah. But I also want to talk about that. I watched a guy on social and going, so the drive was set up because Zach Wilson went for a 4th and 2 quarterback sneak. So one of the guys I follow on social, he is a Jets fan. And apparently the call is there was 2 calls to come in. One was the jet sweep, and the other one was the quarterback sneak. So there was a dodgy communication there. I think they took the wrong call. They should have taken the jet sweep because Barrios already scored on once in the second half, in the first half.
Yeah.
To put them up at halftime, 17-10 up at halftime. But as he said, it's good for them to make these mistakes when they're 4-11 or 4-12 as they are now, not when they're 6-5 when they can go on for a winning season record, possibly push to the playoffs. But it needs a little bit of game management. You can't put your quarterback in that condition. I can understand when you're 4th in inches, but when you're 4th and 2, that's
not a sneak. That's not a sneak, is it?
That is a design quarterback run. I mean, he can do it. You can see he's done his legs. He did it last week. He rushed 54 yards last week.
I mean, that's a jet sweep or handoff to the running back or, yes, as you said, quarterback draw design run.
Yeah, exactly. All day long, not a sneak. But Tom Brady went to a backup wide receiver for a 44-yard reception for the touchdown win. It was 9 plays in 59 seconds for 97 yards. What a drive with no timeouts. I think he misconnected once.
Again, I was watching the Niners by now, so I've not seen it.
It was a really good drive. I only seen what's on Red Zone and bit because Patriots are still playing. It was a great drive. A fair play to. I've seen him do it when New England do things like that. But that's now his 21st win out of 29 games against New York. I think when he went to Tampa, I thought they were really happy. We don't get to see him again. Yeah, he's back and break their hearts again. But Zach Wilson was superb. He had a really good game again.
Yeah,
the NFL still haven't got stats up, which is a bit strange.
Until tonight's game, unless something major happens in one of them games, he's my player of the week. But we'll go into that on Thursday.
Yeah.
Should we move on to Tua breaking my heart?
What, Miami not turning up, which made our life so much easier next week.
And also ruined my fantasy football Super Bowl. 3.6 points. Seriously, Tua, come on. 3.6.
But it will show that Tennessee don't need Derrick Henry. And it is rumoured that he's going to be back for the playoffs. And if they've got a bye in week 1, which they've got at the moment, that's dangerous. Because that guy is a 300-yard game. Easily. But yeah. Most definitely.
Yes. Tom seems to have disappeared for minutes.
Yeah, Tom needed to composure after knowing that we're going to be talking about Vikings in a bit. He will be back.
There's not really much to say about this game because it was just a blowout.
It was a blowout. I mean,
AJ Brown is still looking good. Tannehill's looking good. Julio's got COVID, but once he's back, he still not scored a touchdown for them, but yeah.
Julio hasn't scored a touchdown, but he's had a lot of reception yards, and he is a target, and it is a good 1-2 punch they got. I mean, I saw something on socials the other week that what's his face? I can't think of his name now. He's the wide receiver, not Jones, the other one.
Brown?
Yeah, Brown, that was it. Said he was going to take his life a couple of years ago. He looked seriously contemplated taking his life a couple of years ago. It just goes back to that mental health thing, isn't it? But it does show that Miami have a very soft spot. I mean, I think the pressure got onto them a bit. They were
maybe.
They went 7 wins on the bounce, in a chance of clinching the playoffs, because a win would have possibly put them into the playoffs in clinch, depending on obviously Las Vegas result.
But Tua looked like he did at the start of the season again.
What, throwing? Just
yeah.
Sorry, that was a really strange win now. But it's the first time since 2002 and 2003 that Tennessee had plus 11 wins. It's getting on. They wouldn't want to go to Tennessee at the moment.
No, they're definitely a team I would not like to face.
No, definitely not. Although we've beaten them, so it's fine.
We should have beaten them.
Hey? You should have beaten
them.
It shows they are beatable. But beatable without Derrick Henry is a different. You've got to have a really good run defense.
And I mean, having the tiebreaker on the Chiefs is big.
Oh, very much big. Very, very big. It's going to come down that. I mean, it's Kansas they probably are going to be 1 and 2. They probably are going to be the AFC Championship game again. But we'll see. We'll see. On to the 9 o'clock games.
No, we've not talked about Washington Philly yet.
No, we haven't, have we? Yeah. Washington Philly. There wasn't a lot to talk about this one.
Again, Washington, you couldn't throw the Niners a bone.
Pick right at the very end. And what made me laugh, did you see the pick at the end? That they were telling the guys, get down, take the knee in the end zone, not try and run it out, because they could have fumbled it and it cost the game. So it shows that they needed that experienced head in the end zone to tell a rookie DB to get down. Well, it wasn't even rookie, I think it's second-year DB to get his bum down. Welcome back. Do you feel better for that now?
I feel 10 times lighter.
Do you want to talk about what happened after the game?
Yes, the video.
Yes, because it's quite bad, that.
Yeah.
Also the cameraman kicking out a member of the public.
Didn't see that bit.
I think the best thing about this video is it shows what a great guy Jalen Hurts is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it hurts.
I keep calling him. Hey, he's here all week, folks.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's not going anywhere.
Did you, John? Did it?
I don't know what's going on, Jeff.
Is it on?
It's on the charts.
It is. 1 second then. Just going on.
Basically, what we're going to show you is a video of something that happened after the game.
As Hurts is as walking off the field. He's trying to bump fists, touch hands, whatever they do. Touch my hand. I don't see the point of that. At least give him a jersey to sign. Do something. Talk about jersey signs. Did you see what Patrick Mahomes done for Aiden?
Yeah.
He sent him a signed jersey, saying he's going to be in the NFL, and I thought that was so class.
Well, I mean, Patrick, he's pretty clear about how Patrick Mahomes is his favorite quarterback.
You got to feel for Dak, haven't you, for that one? That's so funny.
I mean, I haven't heard we can't watch the Colts Hard Knocks.
I don't understand why that's not over here, but hey. While Tom's trying to find out, because he's taking forever to do that, should we go on to the 9 o'clock games? Oh, no, here
No,
it
we
is.
got to hear.
That is bad.
We're lucky.
Look at the cameraman here. Look at the cameraman, see?
Oh, yeah. I think it's just lucky nobody got seriously hurt, to be honest.
Someone's getting sued. Someone is getting sued there. I mean, yes, they're not designed to have everyone leaning over them. I mean, we've seen it at Wembley, at the concourse or around Wembley or even Tottenham. They're concrete. Why is that literally held together by half a dozen bolts? Because that's what it looks like from there. 9 o'clock games?
9 o'clock games.
Why is it like that, Thomas?
I will sort it in a second.
I'll do it, mate. I'm on it now. There you go. So, there we go. Chargers, Denver. Drew Lock exited the game, and there was midway through this game, didn't he? Midway through the first quarter. He went out with an arm injury and come back and for like a 30-yard, 40-yard dart with pure power, and then goes off. I can't do that because I haven't got guns. Showing off his guns. It's like, okay, your arm's obviously fine then. I mean, Denver had everything to play for. They had a chance of the playoffs, and they didn't show up. But LA Chargers have kept themselves in the hunt with that now, haven't they? With that win. It looks...
Yes.
Are they 7th seed? Are they the 7th seed at the moment? Something like that, aren't they? So, yeah, they are the 7th seed, 9-7, the same as the Colts. Justin Herbert hasn't looked the same.
He's not been as good as he was last season when he somehow won Rookie of the Year.
Second season syndrome, or maybe?
I think we can't make a good judgment until let's see how he is next season.
I mean, he went for 237 yards for 2 touchdowns. He didn't have a turnover. His ball security is better this season.
Yes.
But he's missing a lot of throws. And he seems to wants to run a lot more. Obviously, I've only seen them since we played them. I've only really seen them when we literally didn't give them a hope in hell. But ever since then, it almost seems like he wants to run. If he can't get his first read, he will run. He's gone back to that kind of thing that rookies do. We saw,
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson throws his number one target. It doesn't matter if he's got 4 people around him or not. Although Zach Wilson, since he's come back from his injury, has been a lot better.
Yes.
I will hold it to that. A lot better. Eckler, another touchdown again. Got me another fantasy points. It's a bit late than never for that one. 17 yards for 58 yards carry. Drew Lock, he had 245 yards for a touchdown, so he actually threw more yardage than Justin Herbert. I would quite happily face the Chargers. I would be like, oh, we get the Chargers. That's even if you got home and away, I wouldn't be worried about facing the Chargers now. If they get in. They don't look like a team. They don't look all there yet. I think Herbert needs some breaks on that one. Personally, but that's just me. Tom, no, Ollie, your choice, your talk.
I know we would, but do I really have to talk about this game?
What was the message you sent with me? Sent to us? Was it something about your quarterbacks doing your head in?
This halftime when we were losing 7-3.
I don't even think it was half time, was it? I think it was still in the third.
Yeah, I think it was in the first period, first quarter.
It was definitely.
Where's it saying?
You know the one that you said that was better than Mac Jones.
Oh yeah, Lance is me off now.
Okay, so in the first half, Trey Lance looked overwhelmed. He wasn't throwing well. He wasn't running well. But then something happened, and in the second half, he looked like a totally different player. We were losing 7-3 at halftime.
Yeah.
And then we had, so it was 7-0. He had a decent drive to get 7-3 towards the end. And then he was just he was a different player in the second half. If you could just if you could play the video, Tom, that would help.
What I've just shown.
I'm
This
guessing
one that you
this.
just sent. One
I'm
second.
guessing this is the Deebo Samuel pass.
No, it's not. This is what one of the Hyde's things are said about Jimmy G. So we'll let you talk, and then we're gonna play that video.
Okay, so yeah, Trey Lance changed after halftime and turned into a good quarterback. To be honest, I think 23-7 actually really flatters the Niners because we weren't that good, and if we'd have been playing a decent team, this would have been outside by halftime.
So Houston finished the season up against Tennessee. So yeah, okay, they're gonna finish as they are. But yeah, I mean, I saw the throw to Kittle, which looked a really good throw, really good catch from Kittle as well. Deebo Samuel's throw, which was really good as well. That almost looked like, oh crap, I know Deebo is going to be there somewhere, kind of throw. And not only that, but the corner didn't drop in to help the safety.
No.
The corner, he followed the route across the field.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what his instructions were. Normally, when you play backside safety, weak side safety, whichever, or corner, whichever side you want to call it, you drop back into the flats or into the thirds, but he didn't. He went across the pitch, and I've not known a play call like that before. You don't normally go across. You normally drop in to help your safety to have an overload, so you got a better chance. I don't know what that was all about. So that gave Deebo the chance, and it was a good throw, and it was a good catch. So not only about that, but I want to see what Ollie thinks about this video. I want to see what Ollie thinks of this.
I've not seen this video yet, so this is really interesting.
This is what I want.
But yeah, I think the defense played quite well to hold the Houston to 7.
Are we ready?
Yep.
What do you do with Jimmy Garoppolo? I mean, the bottom line is you go to camp next year. If he's taken you to the playoffs and won a game, he's a starting quarterback. How much better does Trey Lance have to play to beat Jimmy Garoppolo out? They're not going to trade him. You'd be crazy to trade him.
Because I know for the fact at the start of the season, you say Jimmy's only got one season, then he's going to be traded.
Yeah.
So what do you think about... I saw this on it, so what do you think of this video? What do you think of his comments?
So, I think his comments... I think he has a point. I think if Jimmy goes and takes us on a playoff run, then he shouldn't get traded. Okay. However, I think he will be.
Or his trade stock is going to go up. He's going to get more picks for it. I mean, you're going to need people who's going to want first round picks, or who needs, like Seattle, they're going to need a quarterback. Pittsburgh, they're going to need a quarterback.
Yeah, well, we shouldn't trade him for less than a first round pick.
Exactly, but he's got to do what Patrick Mahomes did to Alex Smith in 2016, I want to say, the one game he played. Lit the field up. He balled out and he literally said, "This is my job now. You're not having it."
Yeah, well, Trey Lance didn't do that.
Exactly. So that was his one and only chance.
But the question is, will Jimmy be back for next week? Because I mean, it's a torn ligament in your thumb. That's not.
It depends how badly it's torn. If it's just like a minute tear, it's minute tear, it'd be okay. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Have you got the play of the game, the catch of the year, ready, Tom? Because this was a great catch in Denver for Arizona.
Did they give you flashbacks, Ollie?
Don't. Bloody helmet catches. Cost us a Super Bowl. God damn you. Shouldn't be allowed.
I have it here. Ready and waiting. 1 second.
Who was in the Super Bowl that did it?
It begins with T, his surname.
Ready?
Tariq, I think. Yeah.
And the intended target here Jonathan Ward was not a gunner. Therefore, the pass interference call is against Deshaun Wright for the first down.
Look at that. I mean, how has he done that?
Sets up
it's not even over his own helmet. It's off the opponent's helmet.
Tyree,
ridiculous. Tyreek, that was it. It was a ridiculous catch.
That might not just be catch of the year. That could be catch of the century.
Definitely catch of the decade. That was a brilliant catch. Absolutely brilliant catch. I mean, it doesn't really do any different to Arizona. Arizona need to win more than Dallas, I think.
Yeah, I was hoping Dallas would win, give the Rams nothing to play for next week.
But what's annoying thing is both TV games so far, Tom's the only one who got them right. Both right.
Yeah.
Out of us three. I think.
Yeah, we both got the Sunday night game right, and Tom got it wrong.
Yeah, well, I'm all about the normal games, the UK social games, not the Monday morning game. Yeah, but Arizona came to ball, and they literally, apart from literally garbage time, which Dallas seem to do really well in garbage time when there's nothing to play for. That's when they step up, when they're up against second and third string players, which is obvious why. But Kyler Murray wasn't brilliant last night. They stopped him very well, Dallas. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
But the Arizona defense was absolutely superb in the first three quarters of that game.
I mean, Arizona played a really complete game.
They were really good. They won all three field parts of the game, didn't they? Special teams, offense, and defense. It's normally if you can win two, you're guaranteed to win the game. If you win all three, you're going to. As you said,
Dallas scored in garbage time, which makes the score look a lot closer than the game.
Yeah, which is fair enough. Seattle had Rashad Penny and DK Metcalf on absolute fire last night.
Yes.
Both. I mean, Rashad Penny looked a beast. He looked like Marshawn Lynch going full on beast mode. He was superb. He was absolutely superb. But your player of the week had a good game. For last week's player of the week had a good game. St. Brown, he played really well. Was it 5 receptions, 8 receptions last night? He had a really good game.
So I watched St. Brown's pro day.
Yeah.
And I recall putting something in the chat saying this guy's going to be a good receiver.
He is a good receiver. I mean, I picked it up in pre-season. I've got him in one of my teams. He really, really good. It was always going to be destroyed. I mean, although I did like the fact that there was a bit of lineman chivalry going on with the lines. One line O-man couldn't catch the ball for a touchdown. The other one did.
Speaking of teammates, we didn't mention the fight in the Rams game.
Oh no, Jalen Ramsey, wasn't he getting a bit angry?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on Thursday, I think. More than anything else. Seahawks had nothing to play for. I think Dallas wanted to get that number 1 pick. Not Dallas, sorry, Detroit want that number 1 pick, don't they? So I think they're just not playing to lose, but not playing as well as they should do.
Yes.
It's over and done for them now. They just want the season over. They want to reevaluate. There is players out there playing for their careers still. So they all are going to give their 100%. There's going to be players dropped, cut at the end of this. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Over to you, Tom.
No,
do you have the link for your O-lineman cat?
Wait, we've not done New Orleans, Carolina.
No, I haven't talked about New Orleans. I missed that one. I apologize.
We haven't, no.
Again.
I don't want to talk about this one because this has cost me possibly my prediction league final place.
Again, Carolina, you could throw the Niners a bone. I'm seriously worried about us making the playoffs now.
I don't know. I mean, who have you got? So you've got
Rams.
You got Yeah, you got Rams. So Rams
Saints.
have clinched. Rams are in, guaranteed.
Yeah, but they've not clinched the division yet.
Oh no, because Arizona won, didn't they?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be overly worried yet. I think you've still got a chance to win that game.
Yeah, but if the Saints beat the Falcons and we lose, we're out.
True. But that's next week's issue. This,
I mean, Darnold's pick to ice the game in the end zone at the end was awful. It was a bad throw. It was a forced throw, but that's the only bit of the game I saw because I switched over after the Niners game finished.
I'm gonna agree with what one of the commentators or one of the co-commentators said about this game. I'm not a fan of the 2 quarterback system because there was a couple of times Darnold was 9 for 9, and then they brought Cam in for a run play, designed run play.
Yeah.
Darnold can run, can shift. Why not keep him in for that play? Or are they just doing that to keep Cam happy and not have him go off and sulk like a little bitch? Couldn't resist that one. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like it. If you got, okay, I kind of get it, but I don't like it. I really don't like it. I don't think that's good at all for the need to shut down my laptop. The laptop's about to die. I don't think it's a good play at all because a quarterback loses with him.
Yeah,
it's no different to just handing it off.
Especially if you've gone 9-9.
9-9, yeah. I mean, they drove it down the field and they went 10-0 up. They went 10-0 up and they were like, is it 10-6 at half time? Something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thomas.
Tom? That's sort of enough said, isn't it?
I was waiting for that.
I'll play the video. I mean, it was probably one of the few positive things from last night. Bradbury's catch. 1 second. Oh, here we go. Window.
Big hit. That was a great hit on Conklin, who is okay. He did get up and walk off. Great play by the DB there. But he got really low to pick it up. I mean,
play by a center. Garrett Bradbury got right out there, and like you said,
look how low he gets. He's skipping up.
In the early 70s.
Get him a tight end next season.
Yeah.
It was
you can have
super.
Tom, what do you have to say about the game?
Right. I understand that it was, for us, probably a nothing game, you know. I think Zimmer probably knows he's going at the end of the year. The game itself, Packers are a good team. Fair play to them.
And you didn't have your quarterback, to be fair.
Yeah, Rodgers isn't the GOAT anywhere near the GOAT. He's a big baby. He is a very talented quarterback.
Go, Pack, go.
But
go, Pack, go.
So
what is it you said in the comment section on the private comment between the three of us?
That's why it's in the private section. So I want to talk about the QB situation. I mean, it's amazing that the fans can't blame Kirk today. Because normally that's what happens. It's Kirk and Zimmer, even though Kirk is having a great year, when he's allowed to throw the ball. That's what Mannion wasn't allowed to do last night. The guy has a cannon of an arm, and we saw it a couple of times last night, sorry. But we drafted in the second or third round, I think it was, Kellen Mond. Kellen clearly a talented quarterback, young quarterback. New England were looking at him.
He was one of the ones I was counted to go. Could have been first round, back in the first round.
And he's just not being used. He's not being given a go. And when Kirk got put on the COVID list, you thought maybe that's where.
What Ollie even said is that Mon started this week, then, didn't he? In the group chat.
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't even a question.
But Mannion, and we've signed another quarterback as well, Slaughter. Can't remember that's it. So it's not about what. Anyway, that's by the by. I want to talk about Zimmer's press conference last night.
Before you go into that, I want to say Mannion. You said Mannion wasn't allowed to throw the ball, yet Dalvin Cook only ran for 13 yards.
Yeah, because it was run, stop, run, stop, run, stop, punt.
Fair enough.
It was first down run, second down run, third down run, fourth down punt. Now, Packers have played us enough time to know you just run and you attack. But so in the press conference, it was a typical boring Zimmer press conference. He didn't really tell you anything. He gave one-word answers.
Yeah, but that's good.
He did.
When have you seen Belichick give more than one-word answers?
Well, yeah.
The press conference, every answer was on Cincinnati. On Cincinnati. It was every answer. That's not a bad thing.
But when you've got the talent of Belichick, that you can get away with that.
True.
Now, every sports coach in history, that they've lost it when they start asking reporters to answer their own questions. That's what happened last night. But this is an interesting one about Mond. He said, he was asked, are you going to start Mond next week? He said no. He was asked whether he wanted to take a look at Mond. He said no. And then he was asked why. And he said, because I see him every day. Now, throwing your rookie quarterback under the bus, I don't know. Either they're seeing something that we aren't, which obviously could happen, but ROC and RHC are shocking. So I don't put any stock into what they say anymore. What I do know, what's that?
Who's your GM down there?
Spielman, Rick Spielman.
How long has he been in the job?
He's been there quite a while.
My thinking is then he'll go and Zimmer will go upstairs.
I hope he doesn't go upstairs.
That's what I reckon.
Rumours are that he's gone, pretty much.
Sometimes it's not the. Sometimes you'll see that the GM needs to go as well as the offensive coordinator, as well as the head coach. It's normally the head coach or the offensive coordinator or it's one of the top 4 jobs that goes. Normally,
I'm hoping that it's the head coach because he doesn't inspire any confidence in us. And Spielman has drafted well. I mean, look at our offensive talent. I mean, Jefferson, Thielen, Cook, KJ Osborne, Marissette Smith in the future. Kirk Cousins is,
Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins, isn't he? You sort of know what you're going to get.
If we'd had a winning season, Kirk, in my opinion, would be in the MVP conversation with his numbers.
That's a big shout. So he's not in the top 5 in a lot of the chats. Then again,
I still think he'd be.
Then again, Freddie Rogers.
He'd be in the outside. He'd be on the.
What is your record? What's your record? 8-8, isn't it?
7-9.
7-9.
7-9. I just think we need a fresh set of eyes on the team as a whole, and maybe that should be the GM that goes. But I think Zimmer is part of the problem majorly. I think five seasons out of the last 8 that we haven't got into the playoffs is appalling. With a team of our talent, and we have got talent in our team, it's there to see. We're not a bad team,
No.
and it'll be interesting. I think this off season, free agency and draft is going to be a big one for this franchise next season.
I think you need a new GM, a new head coach, new offensive coordinator. Your defense coordinator does the job, and then just go from there. A new start.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the NFL stats leading into the last week of the season. Offensive stats, that's defensive stats. Why has it done that one?
That's me. There you go. Oh, there you go. Oh.
I'll let you press it. You could see from that why Brady is in the conversation, or is favourite to be MVP. He's got the most yardage.
I don't know about you guys though. I can't see Aaron Rodgers on that list too. A lot of people are saying is their MVP.
I can't see it either, and I don't get why he is all in there. Cooper Kupp still leading receiving yards. Jefferson in second at the moment.
Yeah.
Chase has jumped up into fourth with a massive 266 yards.
He's had a great year though, hasn't he?
Chase has been brilliant. He is in the talk for Rookie of the Year. Definitely, he's either going to rookie or offensive rookie. He's going to get one of them, no more.
I think offensive. I think he should get Rookie of the Year.
He could even get offered. He could even.
No, I think personally, I think Micah Parsons should get Rookie of the Year, but I reckon it's going to go Mac.
Not Nick Bosa.
No, he's already won Rookie of the Year, mate.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, and Jonathan Taylor is leading rushing of the year. I don't know why that's not gone on there with just under.
It is on there.
Oh, yes, it is. I thought I got it right. It's 1,734 yards. Mixon in second at the moment. 500 yards behind.
I can't help but think Derrick Henry would be up there trading blows with Jonathan Taylor if he'd stayed fit.
Yeah, but he did 900 yards before he got injured.
Yeah.
So, and he was leading for a long time before Jonathan Taylor. Literally, it's only been the last 5-6 weeks that Jonathan Taylor has gone two or three games back to back, 200+ yard games. So it says something. On to the defensive stats. The guy who I can't announce is now leading the tackles of the league. Is noticeable that all the poor defensive sides are leading the tackles. You know, you've got Atlanta, Seahawks have got a couple in there. Chicago got one in there. New York Jets have got one in there. A word on to Robert Quinn, has now broken the Bears' sack record set by Richard Dent. He has 17.5 sacks back in 1984. So well done for Robert Quinn. On that one, Nick Bosa is still on 15 sacks. Can't see him getting top sack leader now.
Yeah, but he's also leading the NFL in tackles for loss, though.
It's not on the ESPN stats, so I can't copy it down. Trayvon Diggs is now on 11 interceptions. JC Jackson's now at 8 for the season as well. The Detroit wide receiver or DB has got 6. Poyer and Bride have both got 5 each. It's been a good season so far, and we've got one more week of regular games to go. And Tom, would you like to show the playoff race?
I would. And do you want me to do my usual roundup?
Go on then.
So, if the playoffs started this week, don't forget we have 2 weeks to go until the playoff games start.
Technically, we've got one.
Yeah, one game left.
One game left. Okay,
yeah, one game left.
That's probably the best way to say it.
So, if we will start with the AFC, Titans currently have the first round bye. Chargers would travel to the Chiefs. Colts would travel to the Bengals, and the Patriots would travel to the Bills. In Ollie Hope's words, Patriots would say bye-bye in the wild card.
If we go to Buffalo, yes.
I believe I said whoever the Patriots are going to play.
Oh, sorry, I misheard you. Sorry about that.
I wouldn't want to. Playing us in the playoff would be you wouldn't want to face us in the playoffs. Being that it is, even with a rookie quarterback, you've still got to face.
If that's what you have to say to help you sleep at night, you can say that.
Moving on to the NFC.
I'm still concerned.
Packers have been confirmed as the number 1 seed, with their record of 13 wins and 3 losses. Eagles would travel to the Rams. Niners are the only team that haven't clinched. They would travel to Tom Brady's Buccaneers. And the Cardinals, after their fall from grace over the last few weeks, would be away to the Cowboys.
I'd rather play the Cowboys than the Buccaneers. I'd rather play the Rams than the Buccaneers.
How interesting is that a few weeks ago, that was the Cowboys traveling to the Cardinals.
Yep, which you wouldn't need, especially against our offense. Isn't it funny? Week 1, we all slagged off Green Bay, saying they are done. They're not going to do anything. Now they're number 1 seed, guaranteed.
You two slagged off Green Bay.
I'm sure.
You two went in on Aaron Rodgers. I mean,
I still would go to hell on Aaron Rodgers, but anyway.
Tom has a vendetta against Aaron Rodgers. We know that. But Ollie, you didn't exactly hold back either.
I was still a bit.
Ollie was more scathing than me at some point, to be honest with you.
But I didn't say anything because I quite like Aaron Rodgers.
So there has been a couple of games moved from the Sunday to the Saturday night football this weekend.
Yes.
And I believe on blank. Chiefs Broncos now will now kick off at 9:30 UK time, which is 4:30 in America.
Yes.
And Cowboys against the Eagles
is it
go off at 1:15 Sunday morning. I've been sitting here I've been asleep for most of the day with migraine, but most of the evening I've been thinking about this, going, why have they chosen those 2 games? I don't really understand that one. I thought Steelers-Ravens could have been a good game to pick. Both divisional, they're probably both could be out of the playoffs tonight. You could have picked possibly Saints-Falcons. That could have another playoff invitation as well, but...
You could put Niners-Rams in there.
Exactly, you could put Niners-Rams. So I don't get...
Chargers-Raiders is a play-in in-game.
So I don't get...
Sorry, winning in-game.
Yeah, I don't get why they've gone on those 2 games, but the NFL know better than myself. Gentlemen, been a lovely evening again.
Yes.
It has.
Always a pleasure.
Glad that you are better, OBH. Thank you for joining us.
Nice to have you back. Nice to have you back, Tom.
I know, it's been busy with the last few weeks.
That little mitre behind me is going to be making a lot of noise. The little thing.
Oh, a hamster.
The hamster.
What's his name? What's his name, Ollie?
The boys have called him Teddy, or her Teddy. We haven't quite worked out what sex it is yet, but its name's Teddy.
What does it identify as?
Gender fluid. Yes, gender fluid.
But yeah, it has been great to see you all again. I will be back on Thursday. We will be back on Thursday.
Yes, we will.
It has been good to see you in the new year with you guys. The first show of 2022. We've got a hell of a year to come. We've still got the Super Bowl. We've got the playoffs.
And we got Pro Bowl. Don't forget Pro Bowl.
We've got the Pro Bowl as well.
Oh, yeah. That's the biggest event of the year.
It's more like flag football, isn't it?
Yeah.
I actually struggled to watch a Pro Bowl.
Yeah, it's good for people who want to get into it and who've not really watched American football, and that's their first game, it's good for them to watch because it is a bit more
relaxed,
easier to watch. Sorry,
to be fair, I like the skill showdown.
Oh yeah, are they going to do that this year?
Yeah, I think they said they are.
Are they going to do a Pro Bowl with Omicron around? But that's another story altogether.
So yeah, eat what you want, drink what you want. Most importantly,
stay safe.